tie a version of a Phatagorva, or Phatagorva, however it's pronounced, and it's slightly different than the original. It's one that Jorge Rodriguez Maderal tied, and I really like the look of it, so we're going to see can we get somewhere close to it today. So what we're going to do here is put on a little gold tag, so we're going to use gold oval for that. Tie in a fine gold oval, and I'm taking it down here to the point where I had my inner tube to, and that will create a little stop to prevent that from sliding backwards. I'm going to put on maybe 3 turns or so. Of the gold oval. Now, the tail on this, I'm going to use some sort of red or orange sort of fibre. I'm going to use Antron here, and I'm going to tie it in fairly far forward and double it back, because I'm going to put on a body of tinsel there, so I need to have it fairly smooth underneath it. Now we'll just trim off the odd fibre there just to get a little bit of taper into that tail. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of black merino wool dubbing, and that'll allow me to make sort of a neat little butt there, as if you were using ostrich, but I think a little bit more simpler to put on and a bit more durable. Now we'll put on our gold oval again, and this is going to be the rib. Tie that on, keep it underneath the body of the tube. So for the body itself, you can use gold holographic tinsel. I'm going to use a gold holographic flat braid here. Wrap that up maybe a little bit over halfways up the tube. Tie that in. The front section is going to be dubbed, so you can actually put a couple of turns back over that to hold it in place. Now for the dubbed section of the body, I'm going to use a mixture of a tan glister and also a rust coloured squirrel dubbing that I found recently I like the look of. I'm going to dub that on and keep it as a fairly fine rope we can. There. This fly is a little bit like the normal Phatagorva one. It's going to have a black wing, and the oranges are sort of more muted down to orangey browns. So for the hackle, I'm going to use a little badger hackle, which has been dyed in Aztec gold. And what I'm going to do is strip one side of it, so that it's a little less bulky as such. Put on one turn at the front, and then wind that backwards. Now we're going to catch in with our gold tinsel. And then wind the gold tinsel up through the hackles. You just need to wiggle it a little bit as it goes through the hackles so as it doesn't trap fibres down. Take it up underneath on my side, tie it off, pull it forward and tie it in. Now I'm going to take all these fibres here and push them down and backwards, and the fact that we have it half stripped will make that easier because the other turn would have wanted to have stuck out slightly more forward of itself. So now, as I said, this is a slightly more orangey brown than orange version of this fly, so I'm going to take this, which is like a ginger fox, and the first portion of my wing I'm going to use this. I'm going to put that in. It seems to want to lay that way, so I'm going to put it in there and roughly to the length of the tail. From that, a little dab of super glue on the tie-in thread just to hold that in place. I'm going to put a bit of gold light bright in here now into the wing, so I'll take a few strands of that, tie it on, fold it back, and we'll just sort of taper trim that back into the wing, and any that are sticking out all over the place will be cut off. Right, now we will take another of our Aztec hackles, and this is just to cover our tie-in point of that wing basically. I'm only expecting to get 1-2 turns maybe of this in, and I'm going to try and lay it flat if I can at all to sort of stick with the flow of this fly. Again, a little turn of super glue just to keep that in place. And next I'm going to use this sort of orangey fairy brown fox. I'm going to look for a bit that's long enough for me. Take out a bunch of that. I'm going to take out a large portion of this underfluff here. Check that for length. So I want that to end up longer than the previous underwing. Set it on top, put a turn onto it. I'm not tying it down tight just yet. What I want to do is force the fibres out round the tube a little bit, so it's wider than the wing that went underneath it. And then I'm going to cut off that portion. Some people use blades. I'm not a big fan of that because I think if you nick that tube at all, it'll just break on you during fishing. so I try not to use blades if I can help it. Then we'll add on another bit of our gold light braid. Glue the thread and tie that down. Another thinking behind my gluing the thread is that those thread wraps are now glued, and it'll help strengthen this because we're now tying on to inner tubing here. So it's just to give that a little bit of extra sturdiness to that as well. So I'm going to put on a black soft hackle. Just checking them for fibre length here. I'm going to double that. Tie it in by its tip, and then we'll wind that on. Now, top wing in this fly is a bit of black fox. I think original Phatagorvas had very brown sort of top end on it. So I'm going to pull out the under fur again out of that. And again with my thumb just spread that out. And we're a little bit longer than the brown that went underneath it. We'll take our brush, brush that out, just want to spread it a little bit. And now we'll put on the finishing touches of this fly. So I'm going to go with some jungle cock. Take 2 feathers, strip them off to the same point each. Tie that on this side, same one on the other, just checking it for length. And then we're going to take a peacock eye and put a couple of strands from each side of the eye. As you see, I've picked one that has a nice sort of curve in it. I'm going to take 2 strands from each side of that eye and place it on top. And it's up to yourself, you can take it out to the full length of the wing if you want, or stop it a bit short so that it protects the tips of it. So I'll take 2 strands here.
To make the jungle cock extra secure, you can fold back the little end portions of them and then trim them off. You can pull them and break them, but every now and again it'll not work and it'll just pull them all out, so easier to cut them off, I think, in general. And then we'll take the super glue and glue our thread and then wrap over that. Now, you don't need to make a whip finish if you're wrapping in super glue, it's up to yourself. And the one I was copying used like a little orange turbo disc. I'm going to use an orange cone here because I don't have a little orange turbo disc. So put another little dab of glue onto the tube to accept that and push that back into it. Now I'm going to trim off the tube, the inner tube, and flame that, and that is our Phatagorva variant. We'll call it the JRM Phatagorva variant tight.